Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to the Graveyard. This is my God of War review. I just beat the game yesterday on my stream and I am super excited to talk about it. Alright, just a quick note, spoilers ahead, so if you haven't beat the game or you haven't played it and you don't want to know what happens, now's your time to get out, but come back. Now, anybody that visits my Twitch stream knows that I'm more than a little bit of a fan of the God of War series. I've been playing them since the first one. I anticipate every single title, and this one was a fantastic continuation of the story, and I dare say it's the best one yet. And it's not just because of the phenomenal leap in graphics and the seamless transition from gameplay to cutscenes and the improvement overall to the controls and the gameplay system and all of that. It's the fact that Kratos is much older now, he's much wiser, he's not the angry, vengeful monster that we knew and loved, but he's now, trying to live peacefully and raise his son and just get away from the horrors of his past. We find out that Kratos has moved up north away from Greece as a way to kind of seek refuge from all the pain and horror and destruction that he left behind. So the game starts with Kratos and his son building a funeral pyre for Kratos' late wife, Faye, and Atreus' mother, and her last wish was for her ashes to be scattered from the tallest mountain in all the realms. This is all based on Norse mythology, of course, and that's kind of setting the stage for our adventure. And as it turns out, the gods of the Norse lands don't really take kindly to these outsiders, these outside gods hanging out in their neighborhoods. So that's kind of our main point of conflict as we travel, to the mountain to go scatter the ashes and all that. So the main antagonist of the story is Balder. He's the son of Odin, and he shows up just after the funeral, and he picks a fight with Kratos, and we have to take him out, and we win the first engagement with him, and then we continue on the adventure and start heading towards the mountain. So along the way, we make some friends. We meet Mimir. He's the head we carry around and kind of our comic relief / exposition machine who kind of, guides us and all that. And he's freaking hilarious. I love all the gags and gimmicks with him. And I love how, whenever you're in the boat, he keeps telling stories and he'll pick up where he left off and continue telling you, about Odin and all of that stuff. We never really get to meet Odin, and I think that's fine. Obviously, they're setting it up for sequels. We also meet Brock and Sindri. These are two dwarven blacksmith brothers that, they had a falling out, and they actually made the axe that Kratos is using that his wife gave him, and there's a fun little running gag between them where, they keep turning up and you let him fix your axe? What are you doing? Give it to me. And they keep improving it, and not only are they like your shop and your blacksmith and upgrade center, but they've also got a nice little subplot, and they really do add to the story. Speaking of stories, this is easily the best one I've experienced in a long time. They do a great job of telling an in-depth, complex story. We see more depth and character dimensions than some of the Hollywood garbage we see nowadays. You've got this fantastic contrast between the way Kratos is raising his son, where he's exposing him to conflict and making him take on hardships, as opposed to Freya, who is the total, epitome of the Oedipal complex, or the Oedipal mother, where she's so protective of Balder that she ruins him and destroys him and makes him angry and vengeful and turns him into a monster because she's so overprotective. We find out in the game that Freya put a spell on Balder so that he wouldn't feel any pain, but as a side effect of that, he doesn't get to feel anything at all, and that angers him, and why wouldn't it? He can't feel happiness or joy or anything positive either. So her spell of protection is a detriment to him, and it turns him angry and vengeful against her, against the world. There's one moment in the game where Kratos tells Atreus, we're gonna go defeat this monster, and Atreus is like, are we gonna go fight him? And he's like, yes, because you're afraid of it. And that's awesome. That's exposing his kid to dangers and preparing him for his adulthood, as opposed to Freya, who is just super overprotective. Admittedly, I was a little bit worried about the whole Daddy Kratos thing that they were doing with this, but to my surprise, they did really good with him, and they grew the character in a very positive way, and you still get the feeling that it's the same character you played in the past, but now he's much wiser, older, and really good for the kid that he's raising. Now, I definitely fell in love with the combat in this game. They definitely made improvements over the previous systems. They kind of got rid of that fast action, hit this button, hit that button kind of gameplay, which was fun and it was fine, but it was I didn't miss it, And they definitely improved on the way you upgrade your items and everything like that. A lot more loot in this game and a lot more hunting for treasure, which that's half the fun. I mean, God of War has always been kind of half combat, half puzzle game, and they definitely didn't skimp on that in this one. They even expanded more on the puzzle elements of it, with the chests you had to open to find the runes, and then the fact that Atreus' bow can be used to, create bridges and stuff like that. It really added to it, and it didn't make it tedious. I was worried this was going to be turned into some big escort quest, with the kid, and I was pleasantly surprised to find out nothing could be farther from the truth. Atreus is very much able to take care of himself. You don't have to babysit him, hold his hand. Atreus is actually very useful and helpful, and he adds to the combat element of it too, which I think just adds to, it's the game growing. It's not more of the same, it's an improvement on the style, and I think it was just great. Now, I absolutely give this game a 10 out of 10, and it does deserve all the acclaim it's been getting. I highly recommend it, and some people say that you don't have to play the previous games to enjoy it, and that's probably true, but man, is it heavier if you did, because every time you see Kratos with this look on his face where he's like, I've been here before, I've done this before, or, this reminds me of something, you know what he's thinking about, and I really think that adds to it, and the character development, the character depth is just phenomenal, and like I said, better than anything you're getting out of Hollywood these days. Anywho, those are just my thoughts. If you want to talk more about it, feel free to visit me on my stream. I'm on Twitch 6 nights a week, Tuesday through Sunday, usually starting about 7 p.m. Eastern Time, and I go all day Saturday, Sunday. Either that, or you can hit me up in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and until next time, good luck, have fun, good game.